Alright, we're going to be making fettuccine alfredo 2 different ways today, and the first thing we're going to need to do that is make some fresh pasta. This is a great skill if you ever plan on being an Italian grandmother someday. So start by just pouring out a little volcano of flour. This is about 2.5 to 3 cups, and then add about 1 egg per cup of flour. I only added 2 here, but I ended up having to add another one off camera. And then you're going to grab a fork, and you're just going to kind of start whisking the eggs together. And then once they start to come together a little bit, just start flicking some flour on top of them. And then once the eggs are, all the wet spots are gone, you can get in it with your hands and start bringing it all together. After a couple of minutes of mixing with your hands, it'll start to form kind of a shaggy dough. And then you just want to knead it and get all the flour into the dough. And then you had to knead it for about 10 minutes to get the texture that I wanted. You want a very smooth dough. So once we've got our dough ball, go ahead and grab some saran wrap or cling wrap or whatever, and just wrap that up, and we're going to let it sit for about an hour. Once it's been sitting for about an hour, we're going to go ahead and ration it into 2 sections, depending on how much dough you made. Then you just want to generously flour that, and you're going to roll it out as thin as possible. If you have a pasta maker, that's cool. I am not rich and don't have one, so I'm going to just roll it out with a rolling pin. Cut it into a nice neat square with my chef's knife, just to get it a little bit more manageable, get some uniform angles. And then you want to flour that, and then I ended up rolling it out a little bit more, but you don't really want to roll it out once you cut it, but if you need to, you can. And then you're going to do this nice little folding technique, so you don't crimp your noodles. So you fold it up, and then you're just going to cut about 1/4-inch noodles for fettuccine. You can go a little thinner or a little thicker. A lot of people with fresh pasta will go a little bit thicker, a little bit more home style. I like them thinner, so this is about 1/4-inch noodles. You're just going to slice them. You don't want to press down because, again, you don't want to crimp the edge of the noodles. You just want to kind of saw back and forth. And then you can flour your nest of noodles, and we're just going to set those aside while we make our sauce. So for our first sauce, we're going to do more of a traditional Alfredo, which I have here pictured on the left. The legend goes that Alfredo di Lelio of Italy, if you couldn't guess, he made it for his pregnant wife because it was the only thing that she would eat, and that's how he invented it. And then he started serving it at his restaurant, and now it is a huge staple of Italian cuisine. So we're going to try our best not to butcher that, and we're going to start with a pot of boiling water. And then we're going to heat our stainless steel skillet over medium-low heat and melt a whole bunch of butter. Here I used about 4 tablespoons. And once that butter's most of the way melted, we're going to start cooking our fresh pasta. This only needs to cook for about 90 seconds. And then I'm going to go ahead and start adding some Parmesan cheese. You want to use Parmigiano Reggiano if you can find it. You can use the cheaper stuff, but it's not as good. So then I'm going to add my pasta, and I'm going to start vigorously tossing it and adding more cheese and tossing it and adding more cheese until it's a nice emulsified sauce. I'm also going to add just shy of a 1/4 cup of our pasta water, and the starches from that are going to help emulsify the sauce. Oh my gosh, just throw your small pet away. Then I'm going to try this cool little fork trick and fail miserably because I don't have a ladle. But if you're good at this, you can try that. And then we're just going to plate that up, and then we're just going to throw it away because Italians are going to tell me it's wrong anyways, and it's not as tasty as what I'm about to show you. So for the American version, we're going to start with about a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream and add 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to reduce that by about half, add salt, pepper, and a little bit of cold heavy whipping cream to slow the cooking process. Then we're going to grate a whole bunch of fresh Parmigiano Reggiano, and we're just going to mix that in with our wooden spoon. We can throw that back on the heat and let it warm up a little bit before adding our fresh pasta and a little bit of pasta water. And then we're going to plate it up, same as before, with our fancy little fork trick, this time with a little bit more of something that resembles a ladle. Then we're going to go ahead and put that in our bowl, top with more cracked black pepper and some freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano, and then we're ready to serve those up. The one on the right is by far better. I am not going to lie to you and tell you that the other one is better just because it's more traditional. It's not. America rules. Make the one on the right. Don't believe me? Try them both. Anyway, if you like this video, stay tuned. I know you're still waiting on those chicken videos, and they are still coming out. In the meantime, let me know if there's a recipe that you'd like to see. You can comment on this video, or you can DM me on my Instagram at PapaChef2 with an underscore between the Papa and the Chef. I also have a TikTok by that same name. So hit me up on one of those, and have a good one.